session. Very excited to have all of you join today. Just a few reminders. If you have questions during the session, please use the Q&A section of Zoom, and we will have plenty of time to uh, get to those questions at the end. I saw Sam raised your hand. If you have a comment or there's an issue, just put it into the Q&A and I can address it. So let me know if you have any issues. And this will also be recorded. So we publish all of these sessions on the StayFi YouTube channel pretty shortly after we record them. So if you do want to go back and watch anything, it will be available there, along with all the other sessions that we've done. Today, we're going to talk about one of the least, or I think underutilized tools within StayFi, which is our SMS marketing tool, which is a remarkably easy way to market to your guests in a very effective manner. And I'm going to show some case studies and how to set it up during this presentation so that you know how to take advantage of this great feature in your own StayFi account to start driving more bookings, revenue, and guest engagement. So just a little overview for today. We'll just go over how the tool in StayFi works, show you how to set up an account, go through some of the automated and one-off messages that you can send, and then show you some case studies. And then I'll just jump over to the actual StayFi platform and show you how these all actually work in our demo account. So you'll be able to, after this session, not only set up a text marketing account, but also learn some of the different ways you can use the text marketing tool in StayFi to drive more revenue and bookings for your business. So just kind of some just basic understanding of how our text marketing tool works is that it's not designed to be a system for two-way communication. It is a one-way marketing system, and that you are sending out text messages to guests that have opted in to text marketing when they log into the Wi-Fi at your properties. And then you set up something called an autoresponder so that if anyone texts back, it will send them a message automatically, letting them know your preferred way for guest communication. So at StayFi, we made a very conscious decision that we didn't want to become a new place for you to handle guest communication. That should be in your property management software or some other tool where you're already doing that. We didn't want to create a duplicative tool where you're also trying to talk to guests and who might be messaging you there. So all of the text marketing is meant to be one way. The other great reason why to use this, in addition to maybe you have a texting tool in your property management software, is that if a guest unsubscribes to this or doesn't want to receive marketing messages from you, it won't prevent you from sending those important transactional messages about their booking that you might be sending through your software. So keeping these tools separate, it actually just makes it very clean. This is guests that have opted in for post-day marketing, and then you have another tool where you're doing the two-way communication. So it just kind of makes that cleanly separated. So you can send all different types of campaigns in our tool, which we're going to be talking about three during the presentation. They're a Wi-Fi welcome, a rate and review, and a general group message. So I'll go over all of those in a minute here. When you get started, there is a SMS or text marketing section of your StayFi account. You just want to go there, and the first thing you do is toggle on collect phone numbers. When you toggle on this button, it's going to automatically add to all of your splash pages the phone number field, as well as a new opt-in checkbox for guests to subscribe to text marketing. The text marketing subscription is always going to be a separate checkbox to the general marketing one. That way, guests can affirmatively decide they want to do text marketing, but many guests may not check it, but they'll still be subscribed to your email. So we keep these opt-ins separate. And that's just because for text marketing, there's a higher legal bar to get that opt-in. And we just want to make sure that we're keeping you compliant. Next, within here, you're going to be able to add credits. So text marketing, we do not charge a subscription for. It's all based on how many messages you want to send. And so you actually fill your account with credits. And for US phone numbers and Canadian phone numbers, is just one credit to message. And then in there, we have the price chart for other phone numbers from different countries. After you add credits, And you can set it up so that credits will automatically refill, or you can have them one off. You'll set up your autoresponder. So basically, like I said before, this is one-way messaging. So you set up this autoresponder message, and that's what guests will receive if they do text you back, indicating where you want them to communicate with you. And then finally, you're going to have to apply for a toll-free number and verify your business. So again, like I said before, text marketing is more regulated. So you need to actually register as a business in order to send text marketing, and we handle that for you. But it does take 2 to 6 weeks to get registered. So when you go through this process, sadly, you can't start sending texts right away. It's going to take 2 to 6 weeks to get issued a phone number. And that's just because the different mobile carriers have raised the bar in terms of business registration to decrease the number of spam texts that are being sent. I know I get a ton of spam texts too. Still, you probably do. But the different mobile carriers are trying to reduce the amount of spam texts. And so one of the ways to do that is by forcing everyone to register their business. So when you go through this process, you'll register your business and then you'll get an email once your phone number is approved. And then you can start sending and getting very high delivery rates. And we handle that whole process for you. Sometimes you do get rejected, and then we'll help you reapply and fix whatever issue was in your original application. This is what the autoresponder section looks like within StayFi. So you pick a brand name that you want to send from, and then down below you can see we have this autoresponder message section. This is the message that is sent to all guests if they do respond. And like I said before, it could be provide them an email, a phone number, whatever way you'd like them to contact you. This is where you put that information. And that way, guests are not going to get frustrated by texting this number back and not getting a response, right? Because this is, again, just for one-way communication. The first type of text message that you can send within StayFi is a Wi-Fi welcome text. I definitely recommend you set this up if you are using our text marketing tool. Essentially, this is a text message that's sent to every guest automatically the moment they log into the Wi-Fi and if they've opted into text marketing. This is a really valuable way to share information that's going to be helpful during the stay because you can imagine most guests are logging into the Wi-Fi on the first day, and here you can send information to them in a text message that's going to get 98+% open rates, right? So that's the power of text is everyone's going to see this message. You can see here on the right, we've crafted this message. You can see here, it's like, hi, thanks for staying with us. This one is more oriented towards book again. But then we also have down below, you can see all this dynamic content. So you can insert automatically into this Wi-Fi welcome text message any of these fields. So that could be first name, last name, and then if you do have a guidebook associated with your rental in StayFi, you can insert that link dynamically, or even better, you can insert a link to this property's homepage. So the homepage is where you have this basic link tree for your property that you set up in StayFi. You can see an example here in the bottom right. So you're sending a link to this right to your guest when they log into the Wi-Fi, and that way they can access your house manual, your upsells, all of those things, which I'll show you in the portal in a second. Uh, and you're getting that in front of not just the booker, everybody who logged into the Wi-Fi. So it's a really powerful way to share your homepage, guidebook, all these materials that you want guests to see to everyone there, because you've probably sent it to your booker, right? But we want to make sure everybody in the vacation rental party has access to this valuable information. And the text message is the best way to make sure that it's persistently on everybody's phone right when they log into the Wi-Fi for the first time. Next, we have a rate and review campaign. This is primarily used by StayFi users to increase the number of 5-star reviews on their Google business profile. You can also collect reviews for Facebook or your website, but 99% of users, I see it used for Google. Google reviews are really powerful because they help your company in search results or your SEO. So you can imagine if someone Googles your name, of course, they'll see your business profile on the right with a ton of 5-star reviews, which really helps increase your legitimacy. But then also kind of under the cover, if you're getting a lot of reviews, you'll also just rank better in general search. So someone's looking for vacation rentals in Charleston, when you have a lot of five-star reviews, your business is more likely to be higher up in search results. So Google reviews, super beneficial for SEO, and then super beneficial for just anybody Googling or discovering your brand. Maybe they see your brand name on Airbnb or Vrbo, they go to Google your company, and then they'll know right then, hey, this is a trusted brand that I can book with. So Google reviews have a ton of valuable feedback, valuable use cases. The other great thing about Google reviews is that they can be collected from anybody, right? So you're probably trying to drive those five-star OTA reviews from the booker when they go to Airbnb or Vrbo, but we want to collect five-star reviews from everyone else and put those on Google. So how the rate and review campaign works is a certain number of days that you decide. You'll text everyone who opted in a link. They will rate you out of 5 stars. If they rate you 5 stars, then you can present them that Google link to go review. If they leave you less than 5 stars, they can leave you a review like just for yourself to see how you can improve. And that way you're collecting the negative feedback privately and then pushing all of the positive feedback to Google. So just really fantastic way to increase your brand's visibility in search, as well as a lot of people also collect those negative feedback responses earlier on, and then maybe they can even address them during the stay and then prevent a negative review on a public platform. Here's how the flow works. So the guest will get the message how many days after you've decided. They will rate you out of 5 stars. If they do 5 stars, you can push them to Google, Facebook, your own website. Google, again, by far the most popular. And then if it's negative feedback, you'll see that in your StayFi dashboard so that you can address it, hopefully even prior to the guest leaving if you do collect this information earlier on during the stay. Here are all the reasons again why Google is so important. Here's just an example of a company that's been doing this. So if you look here, Cabins for You, I think they started, at like a 4 star-ish, a ton of reviews, but they've been driving 5 star reviews with StayFi, and we're slowly inching that up. I think it's even higher today. You can see when you took the screenshot, it was at 4.3. They have a ton of reviews, so it's going to take a lot to up that overall average. But every single day we're driving more 5 star reviews for this brand. The key thing is if you don't have a Google business profile, you're going to want to go set that up first. So you're going to want to Google, set up your Google business, and then make sure that you have a Google business profile. Sometimes to verify your business, they're even going to send you like a postcard in the mail. You want to go through all those steps, provide all this information, and then you can start driving reviews to a Google business page. And that's just going to have so many benefits for your business. And then we have group text campaigns. So in StayFi, the other type of campaign is just sending a text message to all of your subscribers. So you can text all sorts of different types of content here. You can imagine return offers, last minute availability, because text has such a high open and click through rate. Let's say you have a last minute opening, you're in a drive to destination. If you text your list about a special deal just for past guests, you're very likely to get a booking. Obviously, that you can advertise special events. I saw when we see Mardi Gras, the Super Bowl, concerts in your area, all of those things, you can text your loyal audience and let them know about the benefits of booking direct. Perhaps it's cheaper always to book direct with you, like it is for most brands. You can really emphasize that again in your text marketing. And of course, holidays, you can advertise popular times to go to your destination, or maybe even reasons during the lower demand season why they should come back to your destination. So you can get very creative, knowing that these messages are going to be very likely to be seen by your audience. And it's a great way to amplify whatever you're doing in email. So if you send out an email newsletter announcing a new property, why not just send a quick text message as well, highlighting that property and linking to it and getting more eyeballs on it so that you can drive more direct bookings for that property. In StayFi, we can track using our link tracking how many people click the link. So you can see this is what the results look like for any campaign. We have sent, delivered, links clicked, and then unsubscribed. One thing that we've worked really hard to do in the last year is increase our delivery rate. So that's one of the reasons we moved to this business registration and issuing you a toll-free number. And that's pushed our delivery rate up to 90+%. So this is an older message from 2022. You can see delivery was lagging, only like 70% were being delivered. We've really improved the delivery rate by basically adding that registration step and issuing you a toll-free number that's unique for your business. And all of that's going to drive that delivery rate up to 90+%. And then finally, links clicked. You can see how many people click through it. This is a very low click-through rate, so you'll see in the examples coming up much higher click-through rates that businesses are achieving. So here are some case studies from a brand called Branson Family Retreats, and they do all sorts of regular text campaigns, and I can show you some of these below. So for instance, one cool thing that they do is that instead of just differentiating on price, they also offer free tours and activities when someone makes a booking of a certain size. So you can see in the upper left here, Silver Dollar City tickets now available when you book your stay with us. Book a package today. We automatically transform the link they put there into the StayFi trackable link. And you can see here they had 978 sent, 824 delivered, 64 links, and then 0 unsubscribed. So you can see here, this audience found this message to be very high value. They got, an 8% click-through rate, which is very high, and even better, no one unsubscribed. Uh, Below that, you can see they had actually a text message around last minute availability. Book a 2 or 3 bedroom mini with a hot tub for a last minute stay. Again, 10% click-through rate. So 800 delivered, 86 clicked. Crazy high. And then you can see below that they had a code. I thought it was interesting that the code performed worse than the last minute stay or the uh, free tickets when it comes to the click-through rates. You can see 55 out of 810. And then on the right, we have extra late checkout. Again, trying to differentiate why to book direct on more than just price. So giving people free late checkout for direct bookings. We have another return guest deal. I think that one performed really well. And then down below that, summer road trip. So you can see all different sorts of things. I think what's interesting for the summer road trip is they actually inserted the listing uh, merge field here. So what that would do is insert the name of the property that guest stayed at before. So you're actually advertising to the guest, hey, come back and stay at listing, the property they were staying at. And that way you're kind of being more specific and personalized with the text message that the guest is getting. And you can see here when they included that name, out of the 615 delivered, 82 clicked. So that kind of upped it to, 12+% of people who got the message ended up going to the website. Again, because I think they added that extra listed name to make the message more personalized to the guest's experience with the brand in the past. So you can see Capital Jet Set. Again, they've had a ton of success with text marketing, and you can see some of the different messages that they sent. I think for them, the second two here are using promo codes. One great reason to use promo codes like this is that they will then let you track like attribution. So when you use a promo code like welcome 15 or repeat guest, they're going to know that this booking came from this text message. That's a great thing to do with both text marketing and email marketing, just because it makes it very easy to tie campaigns back to bookings, and is way simpler than using a tool like Google Analytics, where you're doing all this attribution and multi-click funnels, because you're like, did they get this? And then go to Google on their computer, and it's very hard to tie the loop and tie the booking back. Promo codes make it very simple. So I see some brands, instead of having a public rate on their website that's significantly discounted from Airbnb or Vrbo, they used coupon codes. And that also helps you reward your loyal guests who have stayed with you before by giving them those special rates. And then other folks who are maybe staying with you for the first time booking on the website see a rate that's more comparable to the rate on the OTAs. And then finally here, this is a text marketing user that's really leaned into events. So you can see here they have Copa America finals, July 4th festivities, Miami F1, Miami Swim Week. They're really leaning into events in Miami to drive engagement. Now, these have a little bit lower of a click-through rate. So you can see here, doing events as opposed to value in terms of like discount codes might have a lower click-through rate, but also remarkably low unsubscribe rate, right? So they're getting a lot of value out of these messages. They're giving people great reasons to return. And I'm pretty sure they mirrored these with their email. So they sent an email about 4th of July Miami F1, come to stay with us, get a better rate when you book direct. I think the only thing I would maybe want to add or change to these messages is I would hit that value message that booking direct is less than booking through Airbnb or Vrbo, just because that gives the guest or past guest that extra reason to come and stay with you, as opposed to just, if the guest perceives you have the same price a direct as you do through an OTA, kind of like why are they going to go through the hassle of booking direct when they may be very comfortable booking on an OTA? So, kind of summary here is to use StayFi text marketing. First, you're going to want to start collecting phone numbers and register for your business verification. So this is kind of like the annoying hangup is it does take 2 to 6 weeks to get approved. That's something that we can control. It's done through our text marketing provider, Twilio, and getting you approved by the different mobile networks to send messages. So that takes 2 to 6 weeks. And so you do have to kind of wait till you get the email that you've been approved, and then you can start setting up your text marketing. I definitely recommend the Wi-Fi welcome text just because you want to engage guests right at that moment of login with valuable information about the stay, rate and review. Definitely set up a Google business profile if you don't and start collecting 5-star reviews there because that's going to help you in so many different ways. And then think about how you can amplify your marketing with the general text messages to fill in those last minute availability open nights, to promote major events in your area, to give people that reason to return, and do it on a semi-regular basis, even if it's just once a month, just to make sure that people are used to getting those text messages from you. Now, before I go into the questions, I just kind of want to show what this all looks like in the StayFi portal. So this is a account where I've already kind of gone through the steps of setting things up. So I'm going to start here on the business verification. These are the simple things that we're going to ask for to verify your business. Just name, contact, website, phone number, and an address. And then if you don't have a website, you can do like a social profile page. Basically, they just want you to prove that you're a real business and not a scam artist who's going to send a bunch of scam texts, right? So if you do get rejected, please email support@stayfi.com. And then we will make sure to help you resubmit this and see why you did not get approved the first time. Then under settings, this is where you set up the brand name that you want everything to be sent from, as well as the autoresponder message. So as a reminder, if someone does respond, then this is what's getting sent to them automatically, and you just want to reference your preferred method of communication. You'll see on the preview what it looks like. We always append your message with this text stop to opt out. Again, this is just to keep you compliant with every rule and regulation so that your messages continue to get delivered to your guests. And then under billing and credits, this is where you can buy text marketing credits. And on the left here, you can see if you buy more credits, they do get cheaper. So if you buy, 50,000 credits, which is a lot, they're 2 cents each. But if you buy 500 credits, they're 4 cents each, right? So they are cheaper if you buy more. And then down below here, you can see the price and credits to text different phone numbers. So US and Canada is 1 credit. That's obviously the vast majority of StayFi users. Then these phone numbers are more expensive. 2 credits, UK, Australia, South Africa, South Korea, China, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Portuguese numbers. And then all other countries are 3 credits. That's just because the cost to send text messages in these other countries is just higher relative to the US and then the 2 credit countries. I do recommend if you do have the welcome and rate and review on, that you turn on auto refill. This just means because welcome and review text will be sent continuously from your account, you want to make sure you turn on auto refill so that when you run out of credits, get below 25 credits, you can pick the refill amount that you want your account to be refilled by, and then we'll automatically charge the card that you have on file with StayFi to refill the credits in your account. On the overview page, this is where you can configure the Wi-Fi welcome text and rate and review. So first you toggle on collect phone numbers. You can start collecting phone numbers before you get your business verified, right? So you start with the phone numbers, then you submit the verification, and then in 2 to 6 weeks, you will already have a small list that you can text message. Something to note is you cannot import outside numbers into this contact list here. So here you can see everyone who's logged into the Wi-Fi and whether they opted into SMS. This is all just fake data for this account. The reason you can't upload contacts is that because the regulation for text marketing is so much more strict than other forms of marketing, we basically have to be the ones that collect the data and get the opt-in from guests to prevent people from abusing this platform and uploading phone numbers where they do not have consent from the person to text market it. So that's just protecting you and all the other users of StayFi text marketing. Then we have the welcome and the rate and review. Again, the welcome message, I really suggest putting a link to your homepage here. As a reminder, you set up the homepage under Wi-Fi experience, and I'm not going to go through a whole homepage rundown now, but essentially you edit this template, which decides which links you want to present on your homepage. Again, highly recommend setting up the host code Viator if you want to do upsells. If there's certain upsells that you really want to emphasize, create custom buttons to go emphasize those. So first you pick which buttons you want to push. We have guidebook, book again, website, late checkout, early checkout, shop amenities, local attractions. So first you set up the template here. And then if you go to the bulk editor, then you actually go in and place all the URLs. So what's nice about this is every guest will get access to the homepage, which looks like this, right when they log into the Wi-Fi. And then again, when they get the text message, they'll get the link for that property's homepage. And that way, not just the booker, everyone there will have on their phone a link to the guidebook. Book again, they can purchase late checkout. They can go to your Viator store and purchase tours and activities. So all that stuff will be available right there. So homepage, definitely my number one recommendation to put it in that welcome message. Then rate and review, very similar setup process. You ask for the review, you pick how many days after they connect to the Wi-Fi you want to send it. Again, you may want to send this earlier, like 1 or 2 days in, because that way, if you do get a bad review, you can address it before they leave or before they leave a review on a public area. Then once they hit this link, it will ask them to rate you out of 5 stars. I always set this to 5. So I wouldn't basically, if they rate you 5, then you take them to this page where they can then click to Google to leave the review. If they leave you less than 5, that's when they get this screen to leave you private feedback. Again, Google, number one most popular one. Instructions for how to get your Google review link are available here by clicking here. You will need to set up a Google business page first before you collect reviews. Definitely want to do that if you want to improve your search marketing and just improve your brand's overall reputation online. And then finally, we have the group text. Group text, again, super easy to set up. We have all the dynamic content here. So even listing URL, you can send the guest a link to your website to book the property they stayed in last time. So all of that is available here. Again, to check what you're like, have you set up listing URLs, right? If you go to properties and you hit edit property information, not here actually. If you just click on a property here, right, you can see what is the direct booking listing URL associated with this property. This is a link that's going to again get inserted for that link in terms of where this guest stayed last, right? So definitely if you're going to use these dynamic links, just make sure that the properties are set up correctly, right? So check your home pages that you like them if you're going to send the homepage link. Check that the direct booking link is correct. And then also we had that guidebook link that's going to leverage the guidebook associated with the property. So you're going to send a guidebook, make sure this is the correct link as well, right? So just go through your properties and make sure those links are correct if you are going to use these dynamic links like homepage, guidebook, listing URL, right? That they get the right one. All the ratings and reviews are available here. So you'll see the response from everybody. These are again fake, right? But you can see here, oh, someone left a 2 star review. This is their name. This is the date they left it. You can go hopefully fix this issue before guests leave a public review. Thanks to one of our users, we also made this exportable. So if you want to like export this and actually go through all the reviews like in Excel or Google Sheets, you can do that as well. Yeah, so I think that was a pretty comprehensive overview. So I'm going to go and look through some of the questions now. Someone asked, I have a Boostly CRM phone number. Can I use that number with StayFi or do I need to get a number from StayFi? So you do need to get a number from StayFi. So as I mentioned before, this is like the big difference in the transactional text marketing and the StayFi tool, right? So the StayFi tool, again, is just one-way messages for marketing purposes. If you're doing two-way communication through Boostly or your property management software, that's going to be all done separately, right? So we have one tool here for the one-way marketing messages. That way, if someone unsubscribes from your StayFi marketing, it doesn't impact them marketing or messaging them on every other channel. So we're going to issue that toll-free number when you register with us, and it's going to be a separate number just for the purposes of the StayFi one-way marketing. Uh, Someone said splitting review 5 star reviews to Google less than 5 stars to our own website does not prohibit the guests from going to Google themselves and leaving a review less than stellar review, right? Yes, totally. So the less than 5 stars is not to your own website. It's just that internal tool within StayFi where you can see their 4, 3, 2, 1 star responses. Our hope is, right, obviously, if they leave a 5 star review, we want to go ask them to do that in Google. If they leave a less than 5 star review, our hope is that hopefully you can address it with the guest, right? Or maybe because they vented there and you were able to respond, even if you couldn't fix it, at least show that you cared about whatever issue they had and responded. It's going to make them less likely to go and leave those reviews in public places. So we kind of want to get that feedback privately and try to fix the issue and address it before they go publicly and leave a negative review. Someone asked that they registered our business with StayFi before the new toll-free number requirement. Um, if so, basically, if you go to StayFi and go to text marketing and go to business verification, it will tell you if your toll-free number has been approved or not. And if it was not, email support@stayfi.com and we can try to re-register for you and get your business approved. Someone asked if they can benefit from this if they don't have StayFi Wi-Fi. Sadly, the answer is no, because the only way that we collect phone numbers, well, actually, that's a lie. You actually can. I totally forgot. So we do have one other way to collect phone numbers for often other than Wi-Fi. So take that back. This is a relatively new feature, which is why I forgot. We now have the ability to collect information primarily from the booker prior to the stay. So we have this pre-arrival messaging, and basically what we do is we will send a message through your property management software in advance of the stay in order to collect guest data. Um, this is for owner-res, and so owner-res actually you go and set it up within StayFi using merge fields. So I'll kind of show you here how it works manually. Basically, every PMS is a little different, so you'll see the instructions here. Uh, Basically, you can send a message prior to the stay, and the objective is we want to send the booker to the homepage prior to the arrival. So if you're doing upsells on your homepage through Viator and or the Hostco, like early check-in is the most popular one. Obviously, we need to get that homepage to the guest prior to the stay, and that's what the pre-arrival messaging is for. But what happens if you turn on this collect guest data and hit edit guest flow? uh, we will actually collect a phone number on this screen, including opting in for SMS. So with this pre-arrival message, you can actually collect SMS opt-in from the booker prior to the stay. They do also have the ability in this process to share this homepage with other guests. So you may even get other folks. So essentially, guests will enter this information, the booker prior to the stay. They'll be able to share this with other folks, and then it's going to take them to the homepage for that property. So you can collect phone numbers this way through the pre-arrival messaging, which is different than the Wi-Fi. So sorry, that's relatively new within StayFi, so you can collect phone numbers. Obviously, it's going to be less than a Wi-Fi collection, but you will be able to collect some if you do use our pre-arrival messaging tool. Um, and every PMS is a little different. So uh, once you connect your PMS, you'll have instructions here about how to set up the pre-arrival messaging. For owner res, you actually do it in owner res, and then we populate a merge field in owner res, which has that link. Someone wanted a copy of this recording. Yes, this will be sent out as well as published on YouTube with the rest of these sessions. We have a session on pre-arrival messaging. We have a session on the homepage and maximizing upsells. So those areas that I touched upon, you can go into a lot more detail about how to use those tools. Someone said they were getting struggles to getting opt-in for email marketing and maybe also text marketing as well. So one thing that I would go and check is on your, so you want to go to Wi-Fi experience on your splash page template. How is opt-in being done here? I definitely would make sure that you are pre-checking that this box is checked to pre-check marketing consent. That way it will look like this when they get to the page and then they have to uncheck it. The other thing to consider is the message, right? So let's say you have it pre-checked, but the opt-in rate is still lower than you'd like. What are you saying up here that's going to want to incentivize the guest to provide their information? So, for instance, could you send them a code for a discount off a future stay? Might you want to put that in here? Maybe you're going to say, like, hey, enter your information and we'll send you a link to our guidebook, right? And then you text them the link to that guidebook and email it to them using our Wi-Fi welcome email, right? So basically, like, how can you and change the messaging on the splash page to make it more likely that someone will opt in. You may also want to collect less information. So maybe the birth date is like too overwhelming, right? So you might want to remove that and just do name, email, phone number. So one, I would make sure that pre-check marketing consent is on. So guests get here and it's already checked and they have to uncheck it. Also, I would consider fiddling with the message to see like how can you provide something where there's just a link to a guidebook, or even more aggressively, send them a discount for a future stay to make them want to opt in. Someone's asked about using text marketing with your PMS. Can you use same number? No, like I said before, this is meant to be totally separate from the transactional messaging that's telling them the booker about the stay, right? Because we want to send marketing messages here that are one way, and then you're managing communication with guests over text through a tool like a property management software. And that way, the opt-in is totally separate, and all the messages from us are just being sent to the guests. You have the autoresponder, so you don't have to worry about replies. And then the pricing, like I said before, is all credit based. So you purchase credits in text marketing whenever you want to send them. And you can even turn on the auto refill if you have the automated messages set up. When they receive a text message, will it show your brand name as a sender or just the text number? So we do always include your brand name. So under settings, you put in a brand name here. I think we'll automatically fill it with your StayFi account name, but you might want to change it if that's not your publicly facing brand name. And then all the messages, the prefix will be your brand name with a colon, and then we always append the stop. So when I go to write a text message here, you can see here, it's always the prefix is your brand name, and then come stay with us again here, and then I put in here the URL that they stayed in last time, and then stop. And then we always have this the test message at the end about how to opt out. And that way you're staying super compliant with rules. Right now we don't have someone. That's a great question. If someone opts out by mistake and wants to opt back in, sadly, right now we don't have a way to manually opt them back in. I think that's something we should consider in the future. I think our approach right now is to be very conservative, just because it's very easy to get penalized or shut down as a texting sender if you let people opt in, folks, in a way where you don't actually verify that you have consent. So we're just very conservative in the approach in that we only let you text folks that we've collected the number from and that we know that they opted in. Someone asked if the toll-free or number is included in the cost of text credits. Yes, it is. So we will assign you a toll-free number. There is a cost to that. So we are taking on that cost with the assumption that you're going to be sending messages on some regular basis. Someone said I don't see a business set up on my text marketing page. You want to go to the business verification. Uh, you may if you haven't ever used it before. Basically, it's going to like put you through a flow to verify it when you set up your first message. So the tool is going to like push you. I think the setup flow is a little different than this is when you actually have it set up. So just turn on collect phone numbers and then it should show you what you need to do to get started. If you can't figure it out, of course, just email support@stayfi.com. Someone asked if StayFi can pre-fill the name, email, phone number for the booker from our PMS. No, I think you're referencing the pre-stay arrival messages. Right now we don't do that. We basically just let the booker fill in that information. And then we're collecting the email and phone number and opt-in that they want opted in, right? So we want to make sure we're getting the information that they want to opt in to provide us. Someone asked about email marketing. Um, about our anniversary email. That's a little off topic, but I'm happy to go and show you how this works, Sam, because we have some extra time here. So they're referencing the stay anniversary email, which basically lets us send an email so many months after the stay. I think you're referencing this part here. Uh, so you change the property by clicking these buttons here. So you have like property one. I can spell, etc. So you should be able to just edit these names here. And then again, for each property, you can view your gallery, which will have like your past images. And then you can, of course, upload new images here. And then you can add all this description here. I will let you know that we're in the process of adding like the automatic property filler. So I don't know if you've had a chance. So right now it's all manual, right? Where you're just entering the information. I don't know if you've had a chance to try um, our upcoming availability email where you can basically the import from your PMS properties with specific date availability and place them into your email. We're adding this type of feature to all the emails. I think you also might have an issue of like once you create the email, then you can also edit it through like the more robust editor too. So that's just something to keep in mind. Um, So once I go through that process, I can then go into automations and edit it in more detail. So I'm not sure exactly which step of stay anniversary you're in. Uh, yeah, for this, yeah, just for this email, right? We're not pulling in data from the PMS, so you have to all write in this information manually for each property, depending on what it is, right? So if I edit each one, it will appear down below for that property. And Pascal had a follow-up question, the data put into their Wi-Fi login. So like if you use I'm sure you've like when you've gone on your phone or your computer and you go to a website and you've like saved to the Chrome browser like your login info, like your first name, last name, email, and it fills in, like that is will be prompted on the user if they have that, which most people have done, to fill out stuff in the browser. But when someone joins a Wi-Fi, right, like we don't know who they are because they could be anyone there. So we don't have any data to pre-fill, right? Because it could be any guest there. Yeah, Sam, if you can email support at stayfi.com, they can go on to the email tool with you and look in your account specifically. Um, it's hard to know exactly what's not working for you until we actually go look at it there. Awesome. Yeah, so that's everybody's questions. Again, thanks so much for attending. Really recommend that you take a look at text marketing. I'm confident it can add a lot of value to your business. It just really works hand in hand with email. You're going to get spectacular open rates and click-through rates much higher than you do with email with text marketing. And it really works really well with the other StayFi tools. So for instance, homepage, if you've put upsells on there, if you sign up for the Viator and Hostco and you want more engagement with those upsells, obviously providing a link to the homepage on everyone's phone the moment they get to the property is just going to make those products and services you have there that much more easy for guests to access during the whole course of the stay because it's right on their phone. So definitely recommend you take a look at doing that. And again, thanks so much for being a StayFi customer. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and thanks for joining again.